Hello everyone, welcome back to Crusader Kings 2 Game of Thrones with the Blackwood Bracken series. Now in the last episode we left off with the death of King Theuma, the Divine, King of the Trident, and I left you guys to choose how we should continue the series. And basically you had three options to choose from. First of all, we have the possibility of playing as an exiled Bracken. Basically that was the whole point of this series, to play as both sides of these rivaling houses. But unfortunately, well I guess fortunately, the way you look at it, or yeah, depending on the way you look at it, King Theuma was so badass, he completely wiped out the Brackens. At least he wiped him from Westeros. They no longer hold any titles. So that obviously kind of makes it difficult to play as them, and so the idea came up that we could play as the Brackens as somewhere exiled. So perhaps they could be in Essos, holding lands beneath the Dragon King, perhaps in Pentos, or in the Stepstones as pirates. That's a possibility. Or maybe even further away as a Corsair in the Basilisk Isles. Well, you know, there's many more possibilities than that, but I think those three are kind of the most, well, I guess the most interesting or the most probable ideas. Now, also, obviously, we had the option to just continue playing as the Blackwoods, because I've never really had a series in the Bleeding Years, I don't think, and we actually have the possibility to now form the Iron Throne, which is something I've never done, and it's something I kind of want to do myself. I personally want to do it, and we've come very far already. So I think we can very well do this. And I would love to continue to just see how things will turn out. And, well, we then had a third option, which is just kind of a compromise, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but let's first talk about, you know, obviously how you guys voted. Now, first of all, 48% or almost 50% of the people voted for this series to continue as the Brackens in exile, which, as I said, can totally understand, because obviously that was the whole point of this series. And then we have another 35% of people that wanted to continue as the Blackwoods. Now, I personally can't decide, which is part of why I actually made this straw poll, because I kind of want to do both. I'm torn. On one side, as I said, I wanted to continue as the Blackwoods. On the other, I do want to give the Brackens a chance, but it would feel so strange to me to just give the Brackens land somewhere, right? Because where would they get that from? It doesn't make any sense. If you remember when, you know, Viserys and Daenerys ran away from Westeros, they didn't get any land in Essos. No one gave them land, and they were kings of not only one kingdom, but 7 kingdoms, and for 300 years. They were a mighty dynasty, but what is House Bracken? Like, they're nothing, and they've never even been kings. They've been petty lords, but that's it. So why would anyone give them land? It doesn't make any sense. So I think the only way we could actually play as Brackens in exile would be to start from scratch. Only have the Bracken families, maybe some close advisors, but that's it. Unfortunately though, you can't do that in Crusader Kings 2, so I decided what we're going to do is we're going to start a new Mountain Blade series, which I guess is kind of, well, kind of a bad timing, because I just started the one as Timid and the Mountain Clans, but still I think this is the best way. Excuse me, my voice just left me. I think this is the best way to do this though. So we're going to start a new Mountain Blade series as the Brackens, where we basically start off with only our own family members, and I'm thinking we're going to try and establish ourselves in the Stepstones. And once we've done that, once we've taken over you know, all the castles that we can, we are going to start or plan our invasion there. We're going to build up an army, and then I'm basically just going to transfer that into CK2. We're going to start off with maybe as the Pirate King. That would be cool. And then we actually have some lands that we can work with in CK2. And in the meantime, while we're doing this, because obviously it takes a while for the Brackens to leave Westeros, to kind of sail all the way over here, you know, maybe they have an odyssey before that, and then kind of, you know, they need obviously time to establish themselves there, to conquer things, then they need to actually raise an army, and then they can invade back into the Trident. So while we wait, I guess, for the Brackens to establish themselves, we might as well continue as the Blackwoods and see what Gironca can do. And I hope that you guys like this way. I think this would please at least 85% of the people who have voted, and for those people who have voted for the Ironfords, you know, this was basically just a compromise because, as I said, I don't feel, it doesn't feel right to me just give the Brackens lands somewhere. So I decided, you know, with the Ironfords we could kind of, well, we could kind of play as them and sort of start off landed in CK2, but at the same time still kind of further the Bracken cause. But it was not really what I wanted to do. So this, I think, is the best way to do both things. And yeah, so basically that's all I wanted to talk about. And of course I need to mention that now that we have a new king, Gillam, we also need a new advisor. And I want you guys to leave your suggestions in the comments of this video, or, well, yeah, but beneath in the comment section of this video anyway. And I just want to quickly mention that I will be picking, or I'm gonna pick this character depending on obviously his story, which is important because kind of just makes me feel good and kind of, you know, makes it so that this character is probably more likable. But also, I mean, it obviously depends on how well this character fits to King Gillam. I'm going to not be picking this character as myself. I'm going to be picking that as King Gillam, as an advisor that I like due to his traits, and at the same time the character must be good as something that Gillam is interested in. So but that's not to say that he has to be exactly like Gillam, because, you know, Gillam, for example, he lacks intrigue. I mean, he basically lacks everything, to be honest, but he does lack intrigue as well. So, you know, it's a tough choice. He's an honorable man. He wouldn't really do too many intrigue things. At the same time, he needs someone who really helps him out being a spy master. So really, I'm really interested to see what kind of characters you guys come up with, and you know, I just hope that it's going to be great. So anyways, leave your suggestions there. Leave any other further comments you have also, please, in the comments, and I see you guys next time.